This is World Beer News. Do tell us how you can get involved. Contact news@tasteofnitch.com. Gonna be brilliant. Like today's episode. Welcome to World Beer News. It's where we talk about the world through beer, global news, and give you something to talk about with your beer friends other than how awesome this beer is. I'm Nitch with a selection of highlights from the second week of December. The ticker wants to know if local malt is the next big trend for breweries. Yes, and playing Wu-Tang Clan to your glow-in-the-dark beer yeast. So, brewers do a lot of strange things in the name of culinary science, but even though using music to alter or enhance the flavor of alcohol isn't entirely new, it's still a relatively young trend. In Kentucky, there's a distiller who fermented brandy with subwoofers pumping in David Bowie hits. An Austrian winemaker did the same thing with classical music. We had a story a few weeks ago about a Kiwi brewer who swears that playing music to his yeast reduces wastage, but so far it appears that Wu-Tang Clan are the most often used musical group when it comes to lullabying beer yeast. Dock Street Brewery in Philadelphia, they looped Wu-Tang Clan for 6 weeks to ferment a golden saison they named Ain't Nothing to Funk With. And now, Fortnight Brewing in Cary, North Carolina, has played Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 chambers, at 130 decibels for 8 hours straight, every day for 12 days, to turn their tangy IPA, Bring the Saucer, into a more bitter, less floral, less sweet brew called Bring the Ruckus. The lab showed that there was a distinct chemical difference between the two, and even though it's got the same ingredients, the only difference was the sound. But why stop at sound? Last week we talked about the Open Discovery Institute, with the founder who gave himself a fecal transplant, and their DIY kit for glow-in-the-dark yeast. Unfortunately, it seems that a Wu-Tang Clan beer that glows in the dark may not be in the near future, as the FDA has given the next craft sensation a big fat disapproval stamp. Josiah Zinar won't take that kind of an approval sitting down. ODIN is teaming up with the brewery in Tampa, Florida, the Inoculum Ale House. Both ODIN and Inoculum Ale House say they will persevere with glow-in-the-dark beers until they get the approval from the FDA. Okay, perseverance. Dig this. In a court in Hof, Bavaria on Wednesday, they condemned 3 men to jail, sentences ranging between 2 to 3 years, for avoiding British beer taxes by pretending they were selling the beer in northern Bavaria, which was extremely confusing because, as the judge pointed out during her ruling, there is no other place on earth that has such a concentration of breweries. This is what they did. About 80 trucks that would arrive in Bavaria each week loaded with foreign beer, mostly from France, and they would clock it into Bavaria as it was going to Germany for the German tax. They would pay that. Ooh, taking it there. But the final destination was not, in fact, Germany. It was the UK. So once smuggled into Britain, the beer was offloaded onto the black market. Ba ba ba. Which leads to the question, the black market for beer in the UK is where? And how does one get involved? Have I mentioned Asia's thriving craft beer scene before? Yeah. This piece at CNN, of all outlets, is actually really interesting. It's a look at the 5th annual Hong Kong Beertopia Festival. This year they had the most attendees ever, 14,000. And some of the beers, no joke. Hong Kong Bastard. Yeah, that was ordered best IPA, which, and I kid you not on this one because it can only be true, that they say they played heavy metal music every day during fermentation for that beer. You see the theme here? You see the theme? Whoa. There's also, and again, there is a beer called Wu-Tang Clan Cascadian Dark Ales, creating collaboration between Oregon's Boneyard Beer and Juan A Brewing Co. There's also beer from Vietnam, Cambodia, Japan, New Zealand, and Australia, all taking in awards. One looks really interesting. Keep an eye on Young Master Ales. They won 4 of the 9 beer categories at the Beer Championship, and they earned Best Brewery honors. So just keep an eye on it. And also Wu-Tang Clan. Steve, could you cue the music for a weekly look at what's happening in the greater, more money-infused global beer scene? They've also apparently roped in Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen, that guy, to once again flirt with ladies in a campaign to reinvigorate Carlsberg. I'm so looking forward to those commercials. Remember that alcohol-free beer Budweiser released in Canada in May, the Prohibition Brew? Well, look forward to a whole lot more of that. Global Smart Drinking Goals Initiative will first roll out in Columbus, Ohio. That's right, the area where BrewDog is trying to expand into and create more of a craft beer market. That's where AB InBev will be investing initiative of $1 billion. Ooh, oh, awkward. I'm sure you may have seen this one. Asahi, they paid $7.8 billion to AB InBev for some brands in Eastern Europe. Also on the genetics conversation, Meantime, which is Asahi owned, is offering this piece of weird bullshit. It's like 25,000 pounds, and what you get is this genetics company comes in, they take a saliva sample for hereditary variations in oral taste receptors, and the data is given to Meantime to begin mapping each beer's unique flavor profiles. And then customers have a one-on-one consultation with the Meantime head brewer to decide the style of the beer, which seems mildly counterintuitive to like, oh, this is what your face wants and this is what your head thinks you want. My DNA is telling me that I want this. That's my DNA talking. I'm pretty sure. Following up on the 55 picketing maintenance workers that boomed into a 10,000 person plus protest and 4-month-long boycott of Carlton United Brewers beer throughout Australia has ended. That means that we win. I say we, but it is them. I wasn't there, but cool for them. But also, So the workers have been invited to return back to their previous positions on union terms and conditions, which is like, that's great. But that also ends the boycott. Which I kind of was just a fan of the boycott in general. Whatever. That's all I have time for today. I'm off to try and find this Icelandic Christmas drink, Malt and Appelsín or something. If you know where I can find it, leave me a comment in the comments below. Or that's it. That's all I have. That's it. It's good. Thank you for hanging out. This was great. I think good. It's a wrap. World Beer News. It's good. I will see you next week. Merci. Au revoir.